So yesterday I came across an article which benchmarked the NVIDIA RTX 2070, and in this article I would like to talk about it and just show you the article. So the article was published on Trezor. In the first section here, you've got some photos, you've got the fact that it's installed in Ubuntu, whatever you call it. It's got all the settings there. So this is the bulk of the article. He basically goes through every algorithm and he tells you what he got with the settings that he set up. First one here, LiDAR2Z, he's saying that he's getting 2.38 mega hashes per second with about 110 watts of power. With the 1070, the same power consumption was getting 1.7. And he points out here it's a 40% improvement. Bear in mind that the 4 times cheaper Radeon RX 570 can do 3 mega hashes per second. So yeah, I mean, it's good that he's tested a lot of things here. He hasn't tested Ethereum, but he's tested a few different algorithms. But again, yeah, there's certain algorithms here which NVIDIA isn't known for being strong with. So yeah, you might see an RX 570 or 580 or something just, blowing this out of the water. The next one here is NeoScript. He says it's about the same as the last generation, so that isn't good. It's still getting about 1.2 mega hashes with 175 watts. Bitcore, we've got 22.4. That is about a 50% improvement over the 1070. That's a very good result. X16R, known for Ravencoin amongst others, 23.3 mega hashes per second with 159 watts. This says which gives us a 230% improvement. That seems a little bit high. I was checking on what to mine there. I don't have a 1070. I had 1060s and 1080 Ti's. But what to mine, which I'm not saying it's gospel, I'm not saying it's the Bible, but it's a fairly good guide if you want to get a rough estimate of what a card can do. And for a 1070, they have, for X16R, they have 14. So yeah, that doesn't seem to be 230% to me. But yeah, it's still a very good improvement. Allium, I've never used that algorithm before. What are they saying? They're getting 4.8 mega hashes, and they said that's a 57% improvement. Ethereum, Acroma, Dubai Coin, he's not tried anything. Ethereum is the main one that myself and probably most miners was curious about, but he couldn't get it working by the looks of it, so I'll need to check that out in a future video. So yeah, you can see here we're still waiting for changes such as the enlargement power and all that. There was that one crypto night which was about the same, but if you look across the other ones, you're getting, it seems to be about 40-50% improvement for the 2070 over the 1070. Now, of course, that's a very good improvement, progress, of course it is. But you can't talk about any of the RTX 20 series cards without talking about price. And in the UK, the 2070 is £549. In the USA, it is $599. Now, if you actually go down and look at the specifications, this is a very impressive card. You can see even just from a pixels point of view, it can do up to 760/80 by 4320. Well, can the last one do that? Alright, I was looking at it there as if that was a 1070. I can't remember what the last 1070 can do, but I know that's quite good. I think what we'll find is that the 2060 and the 2070, when the 2060 comes out, I think they will probably be the cards that more people will buy because they're lower in price. The 2080 and the 2080 Ti are very expensive, but the 2070 and 2070, the RTX 2070 and the at £549 and $600 is very expensive. Bearing in mind, I can't speak for anyone in the USA, but I know in the UK earlier this year, even when, the prices of cards were up a little bit, £549 is basically what you'd pay for a 2080. So yes, I can look at this article and I can say that, for many algorithms, there is a boost of 40%, but that wasn't, the price that the 2070 is selling at isn't the price that 1070s were selling at. In the UK, 1070s were below the 1070 Ti's and below the 1080s. You could get a really good 1080 for the price that the 2070 is now selling for. So it's kind of an unfair comparison comparing the 2070 to the 1070. I think if I go back, I think a 1070 was around maybe the 320, 330, 340 range in the UK, depending on the card, of course. But looking at that price, you could get a very good 1080 Ti, possibly brand new if if there's some shops still selling it, but certainly second hand, you could get a 2080 Ti for the price of a 2070. So from a mining perspective, if you're happy with buying second hand, if you don't mind buying a used card, and you buy from a brand such as EVGA where the warranty is transferable, then it would make more sense to go for a used 2080 Ti, or perhaps even a new one if you can find a good deal. This is my main criticism of the 20 series so far. It really is too expensive. NVIDIA put the prices up by a huge margin, and yes, you're going to get a boost in power, and these new cards are slightly more efficient, not by much to be honest, but these cards are more powerful, but you're paying through the nose for them. And from a mining perspective, it's very hard to convince anyone to buy a brand new 2070 in my eyes, unless you really want this card and you really want a warranty. Then fine. I suspect that anyone who buys a 2070, 2080 or 2080 Ti, they will be buying it mainly for gaming, but maybe mining on the side. It really isn't a criticism of the card per se. Granted, the cost of these cards is very high, but really this criticism is about all GPU mining setups right now. Any card right now isn't giving you the return that you want. I've talked about this in great length, but I do realise that not everyone who watches my channel is based in the USA or the UK. There might be some of you who live in a country where electricity is cheap. There might be some of you who get solar energy or tidal energy, or you get your electricity super cheap, and you might still be GPU mining because of that. And you might want to be you might be looking to increase your setup, buy more cards. I would still say, guys, if you're going to buy the 2070, fine, check out the hash rates, check what you're going to get, and make sure that it does the algorithm that you want it to do. Again, there's a lot of this article points out there's a couple of AMD cards out there which, for the right algorithm, those AMD cards, despite being older, will blow this out the water. But if you're looking for a new card, you want to buy the 2070, just check that it's quite good for the algorithm that you want to mine. But I suspect most people who are watching my channel won't be rushing out there and buying a 2070, 2080 or 2080 Ti. The real value from GPU mining right now, if you do have lowish electricity costs, the real money, in my opinion, would be to buy a used card, one that's in good condition, but buy a used 2080 Ti, 2070, 2080, 2060, whatever. Buy a card that's used. You'll get a lot more bang for your buck. And remember, if you are looking at GPU mining and you are looking to buy some more cards, you always have to try, as hard as it is, try and look at the break-even point. Try and look at when you'll get a return on your investment. And at £550, $600 right now, with the market the way it is just now, I'm not going to encourage any of you to go out there and buy this card. But that being said, I thought this was interesting. It looks like it does perform well in certain algorithms. I'm sure some of you might buy it anyway because you love mining so much. So check out this article, guys. I know there's a few other articles out there. There's a few other people doing tests, etc. But because these, I wouldn't say that lots of miners are rushing out to buy these cards, so there's maybe not as many benchmarks as we would have hoped. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think about this card. Summary, seems like a good boost. But as far as comparing it to a 1070, it's perhaps a little bit unfair. I think that the author probably should have compared it to a 1080. I think a 1080 is a fairer comparison against the 2070 because price-wise, a 2070 is retailing at what a 1080 did last year. I think that'd be a fairer comparison. Thanks for watching anyway, guys. As always, please do leave a comment and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Cheers.